We can get into thinking habits very, very quickly. We can jump to conclusions based on how we feel. We can read minds. We predict the future. We catastrophize. Sometimes we'll overgeneralize. It's always this, it's never that. When we recognize our thinking habits, our unhelpful thinking habits, we have something to challenge. When we recognize the beliefs, now this is the thing about our beliefs. Beliefs are important. We all have them. But they're either based on fact or feeling. Okay? And sometimes the feelings may be based on facts from past situations, which aren't necessarily relevant to this one. It just looks the same, it feels the same, but it's not necessarily the same. Sometimes they are based on facts that are no longer true. They might have been true at one point. Maybe in one workplace you weren't allowed to do something, but you're in a new workplace and it's perfectly okay. And sometimes they are things we have been led to believe. We could be led to believe that saying no is the most selfish, horrible, hateful thing you could ever say. We could be led to believe that we shouldn't be making decisions for ourselves because we don't know anything. The other person knows better. They know us better than we know ourselves, you know. We can be led to believe certain things. Now, when we learn the difference, when we're able to scrutinize our beliefs, hold them up, examine them. Same with our thinking habits. We have something to challenge, we have something to reframe. We can learn, for instance, that not now is not the same as not ever. Difficult is not the same as impossible. I don't know the answer does not mean I'm stupid. Doesn't mean any of those things. The thing about narcissism, well, again, a lot of people have been in narcissistic environments and relationships. Often what you see is a lot of all or nothing thinking. And sometimes that rubs off onto us. That comes into our belief system as well. We're led to believe we're dumb for not knowing the answer. Not true. Not true at all. Just to help with that, though, a way to explore, challenge our thinking habits. First of all, you have to recognize your thinking habits. Are you generalizing? Are you jumping to conclusions? Just 4 simple questions to ask. The first question is, how do I know that? Well, if I was to apply for that, it's not going to work because I'm no good at anything. First of all, how do you know that? How do you know you're no good at it if you've never tried? How do you know you're no good at it? You used to be good at it. Why not get back into it? The second question is, where's your evidence? Have you evidence for it? Have you evidence against it? Look at the evidence on both sides. You'll probably find there is some, but not enough maybe to think in absolutes. So where's your evidence? And if you think of evidence, we're not just talking something circumstantial here or what someone else said. An opinion isn't evidence, by the way. If you imagine you were in court and a judge was to say to you, prove that whatever it is you're thinking, what are you going to say to the judge? I feel very strongly about it, Your Honor. I worked it out in my head. None of that is evidence. So be very hard on yourself, if you will. Stern, it's not probably a better word. Be stern with yourself when you're examining that, when you're asking for evidence. Third question you can ask, which I think is a very sobering question. You ask yourself, how do I feel whenever I think like this? Whenever we start to think in certain ways, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are all linked. How do I feel whenever I think like this? Well, I might feel a loss of energy. I might feel a lack of confidence. I might feel defeated. I might feel tired. I might feel heavy. It could be a lot of different things. But you acknowledge, how do I feel when I think like this? And you recognize that thinking habit. The last question is based on 2 little words that I think can cause so much chaos in all of us. Those 2 words are what if. Sometimes we catastrophize, yeah, but what if this happens? Yeah, but what if that happens? And sometimes we come out of something that might have been very difficult, very painful, could have been terrifying. And even though we came out of it, we might still be saying, yeah, but what if this had went wrong? What if that had happened? Use the same 2 words, but use them differently. Okay, so, if I want to try this, it might blow up in my face. It might work. I might fail. I might look stupid. Ask yourself, what if I'm wrong? Just use them differently. Use them the opposite way around. What if I'm wrong? What if this is the best decision I ever make? What if I turn out to be absolutely brilliant at this? Again, you're giving yourself permission to try.